Have you ever felt like you're fighting invisible battles every single day? You wake up with your mind flooded by countless racing thoughts, weighed down by immense pressure at work, haunted by doubts about your future, and yet, you still force yourself to move forward as though everything is perfectly fine. Many people spend their entire lives feeling trapped in this constant state of overwhelm, reacting to everything around them, always at the mercy of their circumstances. They allow fear to dictate their choices, let doubt determine their actions, and ultimately hand over their power to the world and the people around them. But what if there was a mindset that could completely change this? Imagine a way of thinking and being that makes you unshakable in the face of adversity. A mental framework so strong that when you truly enter it, others can sense it instantly. It radiates strength, commands respect, and intimidates weakness itself. Today we're delving deep into the mind of a true master of resilience, Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary warrior, who not only won over 60 duels, but also conquered the most formidable opponent anyone can face, himself. If you've clicked on this video, it's because you're ready to go beyond your limits. You crave mental strength, discipline, and purpose. And that's exactly what you're about to discover. Miyamoto Musashi may appear to be just another ancient figure from Japanese history, but behind that name lies one of the greatest embodiments of mental strength, discipline, and mastery the world has ever witnessed. Born in 17th century Japan during a time of relentless warfare and chaos, Musashi began his path as a warrior at a remarkably young age. At only 13, he engaged in his first real duel and emerged victorious. That single triumph marked the beginning of a journey that would transform him into a living legend. Yet what truly set Musashi apart was not mere physical strength or innate talent. He understood something deeper, that the human mind is the ultimate weapon. While other samurai devoted themselves entirely to refining their swordsmanship, Musashi was cultivating something far greater, an indestructible mental foundation. He was not only an undefeated samurai who never lost a single duel among more than 60 battles, but also a profound thinker, strategist, and artist. His timeless insights were captured in his renowned work, The Book of Five Rings, a text that transcends combat and delves into the essence of living with purpose, clarity, and inner mastery. What's truly fascinating is that Musashi often won his battles long before they even began. His mental resilience and reputation for unyielding composure was so legendary that many opponents surrendered before facing him. His victories weren't simply the result of superior swordsmanship, they stemmed from the aura of absolute confidence and unshakable determination that radiated from within him. Instead of merely conforming to the traditions of his time, Miyamoto Musashi shattered conventions and forged his own path. He developed a unique fighting style known as Naiten Ichi Ryo, proving that true mastery transcends mere technique with the sword. Musashi became the living embodiment of the warrior who first conquers his inner world before mastering the outer one. According to a psychology professor at Harvard University, individuals who achieve this level of inner mastery often exhibit what researchers call psychological resilience, the remarkable ability to maintain emotional stability and cognitive clarity even under extreme pressure. What Musashi discovered centuries ago is now being confirmed by modern neuroscience. Mental strength can be trained and strengthened, just like a muscle. But what does it really mean to have a monster mindset? It's not about aggression or brutality, but about cultivating an unshakable mental fortitude, one rooted in discipline, unwavering focus, and the ability to remain composed even when everything around you seemed to collapse. Think about the last time you faced a truly challenging moment. Perhaps a conflict at work, a financial setback, or a painful personal loss. How did you respond? Most people panic, act impulsively, or emotionally shut down. Yet these very moments of crisis are the greatest opportunities to build true inner strength. Musashi exemplified this mindset. He never expected life to be easy. Instead, he grew stronger with every hardship he encountered. He understood that adversity wasn't a curse to be avoided, but a mentor to be embraced. Having a monster mindset means facing every challenge with curiosity rather than fear. Asking, "What is this here to teach me?" It means transforming pain into motivation, discomfort into growth, and fear into a strategic advantage. The truth is, fear isn't your enemy, nor is weakness. The real enemy is allowing them to dictate your behavior. When you stop running from suffering and instead confront it with courage and awareness, you begin to unlock a rare kind of mental power. And once you develop this mindset, it no longer matters whether you're in a boardroom facing a business crisis, dealing with family issues, or battling inner turmoil. You remain calm, clear-minded, and resolute. Because the monster isn't the one who shouts the loudest, it's the one who refuses to retreat, the one whose quiet confidence makes others feel that there is something profoundly different and undeniably powerful about them. There's something about this kind of mindset that people can't quite put into words, yet they instinctively respect it. According to research from Stanford's neuroscience department, individuals who engage in this type of mental conditioning actually exhibit measurable changes in their brain structure, particularly in regions responsible for emotional regulation and stress response. In other words, the brain quite literally rewires itself to better withstand pressure. Miyamoto Musashi didn't just leave behind a trail of victories, he left behind a legacy of principles and philosophies that, though born on the battlefield, apply perfectly to modern life. And it's within these teachings that the foundation of the monster mindset is truly forged. This mindset takes shape not through theory alone, but through the transformation of these timeless principles into daily action. Principle 1. The way is in training. The first principle Musashi lived by is simple yet profoundly powerful. The way is in training. For him, every single day was an opportunity to evolve, to refine himself beyond what he was yesterday. His training was never just about defeating opponents. It was about surpassing his own limitations again and again. Most people misunderstand what true training means. They think it's about grand moments of effort, the intense sessions, the visible progress, the dramatic breakthroughs. But Musashi understood that real mastery is born in the mundane, in the quiet repetition of fundamentals, in the act of showing up even when the desire to do so isn't there. Every small effort, every practice, every correction of a mistake, all of it is part of the way. To achieve excellence in any field, you cannot rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. You must build your life on discipline. Consider this. Musashi practiced the same sword movements thousands of times, not because he lacked skill, but because he knew that greatness is not achieved through occasional brilliance, but through unwavering consistency. Daily practice, no matter how small, is the most tangible way to shape your future. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Start where you are. Through repetition, you evolve. Every day you skip training is a day you fall behind those who persist. Every day you show up is a step that separates you from the masses who quit when things become difficult. A sports psychology professor at UCLA has observed that this trait, the commitment to deliberate practice, regardless of emotional state or circumstance, is what distinguishes elite performers in every field. The difference between amateurs and professionals isn't talent, it's consistency. Principle 2. Understand damage and benefit in all things. The second principle is more subtle but equally transformative, and it teaches us to see beyond surface-level victories and losses. Musashi never acted without intention. Every strike, every movement carried purpose. He recognized that even victory could be dangerous if it led to arrogance or complacency, and that certain defeats could hold lessons far more valuable than 1,000 triumphs. This understanding separates those who grow from those who stagnate. Most people falter in life because they make decisions driven by immediate gratification rather than long-term vision. They opt for comfort over challenge, pleasure over progress, the easy path over the right one. Musashi, however, approached every decision with the precision of a chess master, always thinking several steps ahead. He knew that sometimes losing a battle was necessary to win the greater war. There are moments in life where you must endure short-term discomfort to achieve long-term fulfillment. Moments that test not just your patience but your character. This principle calls for conscious action. Before making any choice, pause and reflect. Does this decision bring me closer to my goals or further away? Does it strengthen my character or weaken my resolve? Is this shaping me into the person I strive to become or anchoring me to the person I've always been? In a world overflowing with distractions, discernment becomes a superpower. Social media, toxic relationships, and time-wasting habits may appear harmless in the moment, yet over time they erode your focus, discipline, and mental strength. Living strategically with awareness of both damage and benefit is living with true power. A behavioral economist from MIT found that highly successful decision-makers apply this same principle across every area of their lives. They don't reserve cost-benefit analysis for financial matters, They apply it to relationships, routines, and even thought patterns. They understand that every choice, no matter how small, is either building them up or breaking them down. Principle 3. Perceive what cannot be seen. The third principle might sound spiritual, but it's deeply practical. Perceive what cannot be seen. Musashi didn't win solely through physical prowess or superior technique. He triumphed because he could sense the unseen, the rhythm of battle, the energy of the moment, the intention behind his opponent's movements. His victories were born not just from skill, but from intuition, a sensitivity honed through relentless experience and awareness. But let's be clear, this isn't about mysticism or abstract spirituality. It's about cultivating a heightened sense of situational awareness, the ability to perceive what others overlook. It's the art of reading between the lines, noticing body language, tone shifts, and the subtle emotional cues that silently communicate what words conceal. Most people move through life on autopilot, blind to the signals surrounding them. They miss opportunities because they're distracted, stumble into conflicts because they can't read the room, and make poor decisions because they only see what's on the surface. Developing true perception means being present. It's knowing when a conversation calls for silence instead of reaction, when a situation demands patience instead of speed. It's about tuning in, not just to others but to yourself, and learning to sense the unspoken dynamics that shape every moment. When you master this skill, the world begins to reveal its patterns. You notice inconsistencies in people's behavior before they utter a word. You can sense when a business deal is turning sour, when a relationship is starting to drift, or when a seemingly small choice might lead to a larger consequence. This level of awareness gives you a profound advantage in every domain of life. A professor of cognitive science at Oxford found that people who cultivate this type of situational awareness show increased activity in brain regions responsible for pattern recognition and predictive processing. In simple terms, they're not psychic, they're just more aware. They see what others don't, because they've trained themselves to truly observe. Principle 4. Adaptability. One of the most defining elements of Musashi's philosophy was adaptability. He once said that the same technique does not win all battles. He understood the importance of shifting tactics, adjusting posture, rhythm, and approach depending on the circumstances. This lesson is more relevant today than ever before. In our rapidly evolving world, resisting change is the fastest route to stagnation. If something isn't working, change it. If a plan fails, redesign it. The true mistake isn't in falling. It's in clinging to what no longer serves your growth. A researcher in organizational psychology at Wharton observed that the most resilient leaders share this exact trait. They treat every setback not as a personal failure, but as feedback, data to refine their strategy and become stronger. Adaptability transforms struggle into evolution, making flexibility a form of strength. Now that you understand these principles, the real challenge begins, applying them to the most demanding battlefield of all, real life. Because having a monster mindset isn't about lofty ideals or poetic words, it's about daily execution. It's reflected in your habits, your reactions, and your choices when no one is watching. The difference between knowing these principles and living them is the same as the difference between watching a workout video and actually going to the gym. One changes your mind, the other transforms your life. Knowledge without application is nothing more than entertainment. The real power lies in using what you know, especially in your work. Think about your job, the constant pressure, the tight deadlines, the demanding expectations, and perhaps even the quiet insecurities that linger beneath the surface. Most people respond to these challenges impulsively. They drown in anxiety, freeze when faced with obstacles, or lash out in frustration. They blame their boss, their co-workers, or their circumstances. But Musashi never reacted from emotion. He responded with strategy, presence, and mastery. When confronted with a formidable opponent, he didn't panic or rush. He analyzed, adapted, and executed with precision. Applying this same mindset in your professional life means focusing on what's within your control. You can't dictate your boss's attitude, but you can manage your own risk. You can't control the economy or market shifts, but you can control your preparation. You can't stop office politics, but you can uphold your professionalism. Acting with intention instead of impulse transforms you into someone steady and reliable, a person who stands firm no matter how chaotic things become. When everyone else loses composure, You become the calm center others turn to for direction. Research from a professor of management psychology at Northwestern University reveals that employees who develop this kind of mental resilience are 31% more productive and 37% more likely to be promoted. They're not always the most talented individuals, but they are the ones who remain unshaken under pressure, the ones others can depend on. Now, apply this same mindset to your relationships. How many conflicts have you found yourself in simply because you didn't take a moment to listen? Because you reacted emotionally rather than responding with awareness. Many people enter arguments not to understand, but to win. And in doing so, they lose something far more valuable: connection. Musashi could read an opponent's movement before the strike. In life, you can develop that same emotional intuition. It's about sensing the tone behind someone's words, noticing when silence speaks louder than speech, and understanding that sometimes restraint is the highest form of wisdom. True strength in relationships comes from knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to apologize sincerely, and when to set boundaries firmly. Winning an argument might feel good for a moment, but it often costs the relationship itself. Most conflicts aren't about what's being said. They stem from unspoken needs, respect, understanding, and emotional safety. By perceiving what lies beneath the surface and responding with composure rather than ego, you embody Musashi's mastery not just on the battlefield, but in the far more complex arena of human connection. When you learn to read the hidden emotional currents beneath every situation, you gain the ability to address the real problem instead of merely treating the surface-level symptoms. This too is the essence of being a warrior. True strength isn't about overpowering others. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that your presence elevates those around you. The strongest individuals aren't those who dominate. They're the ones who inspire calm, clarity, and strength in others, because they have cultivated it within themselves first. Now apply this principle to your personal development. Think about the fears that hold you back, the hesitation that stops you from starting something new, that nagging voice that insists you're not ready, not skilled enough, not experienced enough. It whispers that the timing isn't right, that you might fail. But Musashi never waited for perfect conditions. He didn't wait to be ready. He became ready through action. He trained while he fought, learned while he failed, and grew stronger through every setback. He understood that readiness is not a starting point. It's the result of taking action. The monster mindset transforms every difficult moment into a training ground. That public speaking event that terrifies you, training ground. That risky business venture that keeps you up at night, training ground. That difficult conversation you've been avoiding, training ground. Every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your character and strengthen your resolve. There is no such thing as defeat for the person who chooses to learn from everything. Life will not spare you from struggle, but you can decide to face every hardship with courage, strategy, and purpose. This is the dividing line between those who merely survive and those who become unbreakable. A researcher in developmental psychology at Yale University followed individuals over 2 decades and found that those who consistently embraced challenges as opportunities for growth reported far greater levels of fulfillment and achievement than those who avoided discomfort. Growth, it turns out, is not about comfort. It's about confrontation. If you truly want to embody the monster mindset, you must develop a daily ritual, a simple yet powerful routine that sharpens your mind the way Musashi sharpened his sword. And here lies the critical distinction between those who succeed and those who stagnate. Successful people build systems, not just goals. They don't rely on fleeting motivation. They rely on structure and discipline. They don't wait for inspiration to strike. They create it through consistent, deliberate action. Whether it's a morning intention-setting practice, journaling, meditation, or physical training, the purpose is the same: to align your mind with your mission before the day begins. The monster mindset isn't born from bursts of passion. It's forged through the quiet, relentless repetition of daily discipline. When you wake up in the morning, before reaching for your phone or letting the world flood your mind with noise, take a moment to set your intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to conquer today? It might be procrastination, fear, self-doubt, fatigue, or a specific challenge you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, define it clearly. Don't just think about it, write it down. There's profound power in the act of putting pen to paper. It transforms a fleeting thought into a tangible commitment, turning your inner resolve into something real. Next comes strategic action. Choose one deliberate action that represents your intention for the day. It could be a workout that proves your resilience, reading a few pages that expand your mind, or initiating that difficult conversation you've been postponing. The key is to act with complete presence. This isn't about filling your schedule or appearing productive. It's about purposeful action. Every move you make should carry intention. Every effort should point toward your growth. Then, as the day ends, practice evening reflection. Review your experiences honestly and without judgment. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? What worked and what didn't? How did I handle pressure? Did I act like the person I aspire to become? This process isn't merely a habit. It's an act of sacred discipline. A warrior does not live life on autopilot. A warrior lives with clarity and purpose in every decision, every detail, every moment. This small daily ritual, repeated with consistency, begins to forge something unbreakable within you. Over time, it rewires your mind for resilience, focus, and strength. A professor of habit formation at Duke University found that individuals who commit to structured daily practices like these experience remarkable improvements in what psychologists call grit, the ability to persevere through long-term challenges. Even more importantly, they report feeling a stronger sense of control over their lives and a deeper confidence in their capacity to handle adversity. Remember, you don't need to live in feudal Japan to be a warrior. The true battlefield exists within you, in your thoughts, your discipline, your daily choice. Miyamoto Musashi's legacy reminds us that real strength is not about domination or conquest, but about mastery, the discipline to act with purpose, the strategy to face challenges with clarity, and the courage to confront your own fears. That is where the monster mindset is born. Not in moments of victory, but in the quiet, consistent pursuit of self-mastery. By adopting the monster mindset, you begin to craft a life grounded in purpose, discipline, and transformation. The strength of the mind you build today determines the victories you'll achieve tomorrow. Every thought, every decision, every act of perseverance lays the foundation for the battles ahead. So reflect on this. What battle are you going to win today? Is it the fight against fear, doubt, laziness, or self-limiting beliefs? Whatever it is, make the decision now to face it with clarity and courage. If this message has sparked something within you, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this reminder of their own inner power. Until next time, keep your mind sharp, your heart disciplined, and your spirit absolutely unshakable.